Hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome. I just wanted to do a little video just showing a couple of things that arrived today from Supertarts and Empire Alchemy Wax. I am joined today by my 3-year-old Joshua, who apparently wants to help, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see if I publish it at all. So let's get started.
Mommy, what do you?
Yeah. So starting off with, I've got my 2 little cards from Empire Alchemy and Supertarts. And we might do the Empire Alchemy first because it is a smaller, was a smaller order. I just got basically 2, hey bud, can I show mine first? So I got 2 of her big Empire bags. Oop. Oh, alchemy bags. I can't remember which is the big one. So this one, the Huntress, this is, I've actually got 2 whole donuts of this as well. It is one of my absolute favourite blends. Pear, pomegranate, blood orange, pine, woods, marshmallow, fireside type, and marshmallow, fireside, and Lord of Misrule. To me, this one is, the Lord of Misrule is not super heavy. It's definitely kind of a really deep fruity. The pear, the pomegranate, and the blood orange comes through, and then there's like this deep kind of peppery smokiness, creamy smokiness from the Lord of Misrule. You can see the bags, and this is the downside of getting things all the way to Australia, is that this one does look like it's been maybe a little bit melted. Wait, careful! And remelted, but that's okay. All the pieces are fine. They will melt just fine. So it's just the bag doesn't look as pretty. So definitely have enough of that one to last me for a while. This one I haven't tried yet, the Huntsman. So cider in charred barrels, vanilla bean knoll, dried berries, smoked wood, and fire embers. So I thought that sounded intriguing enough to get a large bag in. And it definitely is. So I'm getting cider, a bit of berry, and definitely a bit of a smokiness. So I hope people don't mind the participation of a 3-year-old here. So that smells really, really nice. The reason I was happy to get bigger quantities in those in particular is because I will probably hold on to them until we hit Australian autumn, which is a couple of months away, because I think they will be perfect for it. Now I've got a couple of samples, so I haven't even had a look at what's in here yet, obviously. We're going to have to bring those back in a sec, little man. So we have cocoa butter, cashmere, okay, and white birch. You're so helpful. So this is a very creamy and clean is how I would describe that, but not in like a sort of cleaning product way. So yeah, I would definitely use that if I wanted to just have a really crisp, clean kind of thing going on. And then I have Snuggable Laundry Madagascar Vanilla. Let's see. I'm not the biggest laundry kind of person, but that's not too bad. I think the Madagascar Vanilla really makes it just sweeter and smoother. So that's, I don't know if I would have bought it myself, but I think I might enjoy that. So time to get stuck into, if I can round them all up together, the Supertarts. So first up, I have a sample. They're never labelled, which I'm in 2 minds about. In some ways it's kind of fun trying to figuring out what something is, but on the other hand, sometimes it gets a little frustrating. But so it's a 3-tone block, and it's, look, the first thing I want to say is that it's almost like there's a slight kind of licorice or aniseed sort of note to it. So maybe, because sometimes I get that from pink sugar, so maybe that's deep in the background, but I don't think so. And so it's a bit fruity too. I don't know how I feel about that one. It's not like something I'd be drawn to, but I'll have a look at the notes, because look, I definitely think that your experience of a fragrance with the notes, knowing the notes and not knowing the notes, can be different, which shows how funny, scent can be and the way your mind interplays, I suppose. I'll see what the notes are on that one, but it's probably not going to be a huge favourite of mine. So I got myself a few clams, and I have more coming from Wax Wednesday and whatnot, but this was, I think, a pre-Wax Wednesday order. That's how long it's taken me to get this over here. I think this was from like October. So I stocked up on some Insidious, because this is like, again, one of my all-time favourite scents. Very cute clam here. It's driftwood, cotton candy, and vetiver. And I just find it's just incredible. It's woodsy, it's a little bit sweet, it's completely different to anything else I've ever tried. It's just amazing. So that's the only one from this order that I'd had before. Everything else is new to me, and I'm just going to organise myself. So Rocky Horror, so white pumpkin, sea salt, teakwood, fern, lilac, and agave. Twisted and beautiful. The notes really intrigued me on this one, I have to say. I'm going to miss these. Oh, buddy, you're knocking me. Hey? I'm really going to miss these in beds. Like, I know it's not, like, you ultimately want wax that performs, but I'm a sucker for a pretty wax, so that's okay. This one's really nice. It's, what am I getting from that? I think the sea salt and agave and the fern, like, it's a very kind of salty sea air kind of green type scent, but it's not just, it's different to that. And I think that's where, there's floral there too. I don't feel like I'm getting like white pumpkin that much on cold, but it also smells a little bit different to what I would have expected the rest of those notes. So I assume that's the white pumpkin is playing a role. So that's really nice. Hey, buddy. Next we have Arrow, which is black pepper, mossy birch, peppermint sticks, and rain. Now, I kind of ummed and ahed on this one because I'm not a peppermint fan. Shocker, everyone loves peppermint, not super for me. But I just went in with those other scents. I feel like it could be something good. And with peppermint, I find that it overpowers. My biggest problem, I don't hate it, the smell of it, but it overpowers everything for me. So, sorry, my son's leaning on the board. So I thought I'd see, because I felt like with those notes that they would, they'd play out more and it wouldn't just be a peppermint dominant kind of blend. So you have failed the city. There you go. And so it is, look, peppermint is kind of sticking out the most.
Santa.
But also rain.
Santa.
Daddy,
Santa.
He's watching Sesame Street Santa. It's definitely a rainy kind of mossy scent. I'm not getting a huge amount of black pepper, and the peppermint is, it's not overwhelmingly strong, but it is there. I think it will be not too bad. It's not like a hit you in the face, definitely peppermint blend. It's kind of outdoorsy, fresh with a bit of peppermint. So that could go okay. Now we've got Paranorman, which is Avobath Zombie Brains, which is lemongrass, lush dupe, and key lime, pomegranate, and fluffy cotton candy. I was really intrigued by the concept of this because I don't mind Avobath, but I don't like it in wax on its own. Sometimes I find it a little bit bitter, sour. I don't know. It's a bit too much. So I thought that this blend would, really kind of make it fresh and sweeter and just nicer. So, and I think So it's definitely an Avobath blend first and foremost, but it's yeah, there's a sweetness there. I'm getting avo bath mostly, I will say. I reckon when it warms up though that will sort of start to shift because it's not as in your face as what I find avo bath to be. So I think that's going to be really nice, but I'm not getting much of an indication on cold as to how that will play out. Then we have Yondu, which is, off he goes, Daddy, Santa. So Yondu is avocado and sea salt, raspberry and nectarine ambrosia. So I was intrigued by this. It sounded very interesting to me. Cute. I keep saying that. I'm going to miss the colours and the embeds. Not the embeds, sorry, the colours more so. I just like having a bit of interplay, a nice sort of pretty wax pull as it melts, which you can only really get if you have two colours. So this, it's hard to describe. I'm getting nectarine, like a sort of sweet fruit. But it is quite fresh. You've got that sort of freshness as well. So I think it'll be really nice actually. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all of these. Like I picked them up because they all looked really intriguing, and I'm finding that I know not everyone's into kind of the crazy looking blends that Brandy does, but I've learnt to trust because so far, if something has sounded intriguing to me, she hasn't let me down yet. So this one, King Orange Crisp, Rain, Salty Water, Seaweed, Patchouli and Cedarwood. So this sounds like it'll be right up my alley. And this is the last one actually. So there's a bit of glitter on this one. Glitter is something I don't necessarily need on my wax, so I'm not going to be sad if that's no longer there. And yep, that's definitely just a really strong woody sea air, which I always love. Like those are my favourite sorts of outdoorsy blends, when you combine a bit of sort of woodiness with, water and aquatic and ozonic kind of notes. So that smells really good. So that is everything that arrived today. Yeah, so I will watch this back and see if my son was whether he was just cute or too distracting. I'm also going to have to go and save some pieces of the Huntress because he's taken off with them and he's sniffing them in the lounge room. So that's one of my favourites. He can't have those. So thank you for watching, and have a great day or weekend or whatever you're coming up to. Bye.